Do you use all of the methods in the blueprint, or are there a couple you utilize more than others? Yes and no. So I mentioned the track record on Fusion. If you're subscribed to the Fusion service, radioactivetrading.com is different than Power Options. The Fusion service just focuses on the married put techniques. There are lessons there, timed lessons, drip content lessons to help you get more familiar and accelerate your learning curve on the blueprint for new blueprint owners. There's the open trades field, which you can see. We post our actual radioactive trades. I have 4 open right now. I think Ernie has 6. And then the track record is there as well. The RPM report, just like the married put search tool and Power Options, is showing you which married puts we would open today following our tested, preferred, and compared criteria. It's time for me to do another trust the search results on Power Options, comparing our default criteria of the radioactive trading techniques to just using S&P 500 stocks, S&P 100 stocks, NASDAQ 100 stocks, just the SPX or NDX. But so use all of the income methods, or there are a couple more than you utilize. If you look at Ernie's approach, you'll see him basically use only 4 income methods. Income method number 1, income method number 4, one of the 4 ways to adjust the put option, income method number 9, which we just discussed, rolling the put down. If the stock falls to average down, why buy more shares of stock? I had the put in place. I can get the same benefit of averaging down, but get paid to do it rather than putting more money into the trade to get me a better break even on the position. And Ernie may also use income method number 3 from time to time, but he focuses on those main ones. I do as well. Income method number 1, number 4, number 9 are my most popular. Income method number 6, which I showed you to complete the hat trick for locking in gains, the bear call credit spread, I like to use. Income method number 12, I've used and should have used a couple times this year, and I did not because the market was so bullish, but my stocks weren't. A couple of my stocks, I'm sorry, my stocks were, but a couple of my stocks weren't. And I should have used income method number 12 when I saw some of those technical crossovers I just talked about, Rick, and I didn't. But this Penn National Gaming, I don't know why we don't have there's a couple of ones in the historical record here, the track records, that we don't have the change. But I bought Penn around October 10th, 2018, 33.60, and I had the 35 put. Stock closed at 22.23 on November 6th. It was down 34%. We made 10.3% on that trade. And just a small amount of time, 1 month and 4 days, 35 days, there it is, 35 days exactly. And that's because I used income method number 12 on the position. Earnings were coming up, had some hunches, had a hesitation, saw something in the news. I was like, maybe there's a time to profit in both ways. Actually, it was more like this, I think, when I did this income method number 12 with earnings coming up. So when the stock collapsed, it's a synthetic straddle. It's essentially is what I did. I had an extra put on the position so I could profit both ways. 10.3% with the stock down 34% following the ideas in the blueprint. There's another one in there as well that fell only about 28%. We made 9%. I was looking for it, but I can't remember which one it was. Income method number 7 in your blueprint. I've done 2 of those this year, and I have 1 open right now in Alamos Gold. I allowed the stock to be signed at 36, December expiration. The stock was up at about 38.80, and then the following Monday it opened above 40. So income method number 7, I still hold the long put. I don't have the stock anymore. I sold a 39 strike put. I'm sorry, I sold a 40 strike put. My apologies. January 40 strike put. I have a calendar put spread with no risk because the profit's taken from the original married put position, which I don't own stock anymore. I did that earlier with another position this year also. So income method number 7. Now, income method number 5 I bring up is more complex, but my goose trade here, I'm going to change the pen color if you guys don't mind. That yellow is driving me batty. I'm going to go to a light green. Okay, so in any case, the goose position here, Mike, you have a stock that went up 85.5% and you only made 9% on the position. You don't know what you're doing. Well, before this 85% move, Goose was actually down about 10 or 12% while we were in the trade. Managing it with the income methods in the blueprint over this 4 or 5 month period before we got to 11/19/2018, I got to a bulletproof position of about 4% on the trade. No risk position, guaranteed profit, and earnings were coming up in about 10 days. So I could have sold a call and capped the upside. I could have done that income method number 6 I talked about, the bear call credit spread, which would have left the upside open, which would have been the better play. But instead, I've done income method number 5, and I've done this about 6 or 7 times over the last several years. After 2018, probably the last 5 or 6 years, I've done income method number 5. But now I've learned never to do income method number 5, the ratio call spread against the married put, where I'm selling 2 calls at a higher strike price and buying 1. Essentially, I'm doing a bull call debit spread with a covered call and having the put protection in place. So I'm going to sell 2 calls here, and I'm going to buy a lower strike call. So I create this bull call debit spread, and I have this covered call, and then we've got our put. So nothing's naked. I'm not, but it does give me a profit and loss chart that kind of looks like this a little bit, which is fine. It's all good. When I did this, this was my max, over here was my max 9% profit. This was a 12% profit. And by the way, this ratio call spread is done at a credit. So I increased my bulletproof status to around 10% or so, 10.5, 10.6, I can't remember. No, it was less than that. It was up from 4 to about 6% going through earnings. How could I lose? Canada Goose. They make winter jackets, right? They make the big, fluffy, nice, expensive jackets they wear back then. The stock went up 58% at earnings. So, yes, income method number 6 would have been the best play. Just leaving the married put alone would have been the best play. I figured doing the ratio call spread to get that extra oomph with the bull call debit spread and leaving this position here where this was my 9% profit. If it exceeded up 10, 15, 20, 30%, here was about, as I mentioned, that 12% gain. Here is bulletproof status about 5 or 6%. Where could I go wrong? Well, the stock moved up 55, 58% on a strong earnings beat and outlook. So now I know never to do income method number 5, income method number 1, or income method number 7 through an earnings event when you have a capped gain. And we talk about that more in some of that members only content as well. But yes, I've used most of them. The only one I haven't used, I've used income method number 11. It's a little complex. There's 2 versions of income method number 8, and I haven't used one of those. But commonly, Ernie is 85 years old. He's just protecting his portfolio, and he's treating the married put portion of his portfolio much like just a mutual fund. He's not doing anything extravagant. I like to use some of these riskless spread trades, 6 and 5 on occasion. I like to kind of say, hey, my hunch is telling me this. I'm going to pay the money to buy the extra put. And as you can see, paid off here. Stock down 34%, made 10.3% on the position using income method number 12. And the on holdings position, I used income method number 7, worked perfectly earlier this year. We're going to see how the Alamos Gold income method number 7 works going forward as well. But that goes back to my point, Rick, that we talked about earlier in the presentation when I sort of mentioned that knowing the SIGA model, the 3 main tips, grasping the concept of the benefit of limiting risk is just the start. Seeing how it actually benefits you. Don't time your trades. Trade time.